Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in the NPSL Southeast Conference. It is the last week of the regular season, Match Week 10. Before we get you prepped for that one, we'll take you backward, get you through Match Week number 9, and all of the results, get you ready with the standings and all the possibilities heading into Match Week 10. We know who the 4 teams are. We just don't know where they're going to finish. Last week on July 2nd, the 4:30 start that we were discussing last week with head coach Adam Reakes with Apotheos FC. Apotheos gets 2 on the board at Jack Allen, gets the 2-0 win against North Alabama SC. Big win for Apotheos on the road. Game of the week comes to us from the University of West Georgia Stadium. Appalachian FC on the road, traveling all the way to Carrollton to take on Georgia Storm. Here's your highlights of the match courtesy of our friends at Vetter, 11 Sports, and the NPSL. Our own Nick Alifi on the call.
1 slide, 2 slide, and immediately stopped. But now Max Landau across and goal. Appalachian FC. Looked to be Angelo Fabrizio there. Big cross. And Angelo Fabrizio was right there. Just came right over. Verona did everything he could on that one. The man who drew the yellow card is the man who puts the ball in the back of the net. Works out the ball to Thierry. Vandenberg. To Delange. Vandenberg. And again, Vandenberg puts the ball into the back of the net. The ball across. And Angelo Fabrizio with the brace. The man who drew the yellow card. Earned himself a few comments and sound bites from the faithful here at University of West Georgia Soccer Complex. Draws a yellow card, has a brace. And now we're sitting 2-0 Appalachian FC. Kevin Fitzgerald's going to be sending it up. Brian Palencia works his way over. Juan Gomez sends it in. Oh, what a missile! Goal! Ian Alvarez with an absolute missile to the back of the net. And Appalachian FC's lead is now cut in half. Landau says, I'll have it. Looks like Verona expected him to go low. And Verona now on the ground appears to be holding his ankle. And if he's unable to continue, the Storm already in a bad situation could be in an exponentially worse situation. Looks like we have some activity over on the Storm bench. Brendan Williams with the recovery. And now Appalachian FC driving downfield. The shot. And there's 4. Thomas DeGraw. Thomas DeGraw carrying the ball down the field. Cuts to the right. Sees his moment. And Upchurch just not able to get it. Goes right off the left pipe into the back of the net. But now, previously was likelihood is now a formality. It's 4-1 to the visitors. Holds up the shirt to let everybody know. The pass absolutely weighted perfectly. That looked like Camden Holbrook. The pass absolutely weighted perfectly.
5-1 win for Appalachian FC over Georgia Storm. The other match at 7:30, the Revs put 6 on LSA Atletico Lanier, and they get full points there as well. So that brings us into the standings, into the final week of the regular season, and it's going to be a quick turn for the playoffs. The playoffs are in midweek next week, so it's going to be a quick turn, keeping an eye on the postseason from this moment forward. Right now in the East, through 9 matches, Appalachian FC 5-1-3 at 18 points. The Georgia Revs 4-1-4, they're at 16. They've scored 24 goals, goal difference of plus 15. Appalachian, just for the record, has a goal difference of plus 10. Apotheos at 3-1-5 are at 14 points, goal difference of plus 4. North Alabama SC at 3-3-3. They have 12 points, and they are even on goals for and allowed at 13. LSA Athletico Lanier at 2-5-2. They have 8 points on the season. They've given up 24 goals this year and have a goal difference of -17. Georgia Storm at 1-7-1. 4 points on the season, 12 goals for, 24 goals against. So we know the four, we just don't know the order. Appalachian, 2 points ahead of Georgia Revs. They are 4 points ahead of Apotheos. North Alabama is at 12 points. So North Alabama would have to win, and they would have to make up some goal difference to climb out of the 4 spot and take over Apotheos. Apotheos with a win could get to 17 points. They would have to hope that the Revs lose if Apotheos is going to climb up into the 2nd spot over Georgia Revolution. And the Revs at 16 points. If they win, Appalachian loses, then that's 19 points. Once again, you get into goal difference. If, say, the Revs win and Appalachian draws, then you're getting into 19 points each and then figuring out your goal difference from there. But once again, the Revs taking big goal difference into the last week of play here in the regular season in the NPSL Southeast. And a lot to be decided. Who is going to finish where? 4 teams separated by 6 points heading into the last week of the regular season. So let's take a peek at the schedule and get you caught up with the coaches coming up across the board. All matches 7:30 Eastern Time. They're all in the state of Georgia here on Saturday, July the 9th. Georgia Revs hosting North Alabama SC. North Alabama SC has to go on the road to McDonough High School Stadium. Here's the Revs head coach Jack Marchant about Matchweek 9 and Matchweek 10.
That was what we're about. That was more what we're about. Again, I think we looked at the record books afterwards. I think that's the first time LSA have lost at home in like 2 seasons. And to do it in that fashion was really pleasing. I mean, it's never going to be a tough place to go. I mean, I think the scoreline is obviously a little bit generous towards us, but I think we earned the right to do that. It was a tough, tight game at halftime. We managed the first 10 minutes of the second half, and then from there, once the snowball got going, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And again, pleasing to get 5 different scorers on the score sheet and get everyone on. Again, a really enjoyable experience all around.
And now you're into match week last in the regular season. And you could be first, you could be third, and you could be second. So, I mean, there's a lot to play for here, and you've got to look ahead of you in the standings. You got to look over your shoulder, but you still got to take care of business.
No, absolutely. That's all our focus is on. All our focus is on us. Again, we need to control what we can control. And if we get a favorable result at the weekend, yeah, we could finish top. But the priority right now is win this game, beat North Alabama, and finish at least second. That's all our focus is this week.
Apotheos with some work to do themselves. They have to travel to the University of West Georgia. Georgia Storm could act as spoiler here in this particular instance for Apotheos as they're chasing after their positions in the postseason. Once again, here's Apotheos head coach Adam Reakes about Matchweek 9, their 2-0 win over North Alabama, and what they're facing in a team in Storm.
Good team performance last week. We were struggling for numbers, so some unavailabilities and some injuries again. So we were really at the bare threads. But I thought it was a really good performance from everyone bought in. So we went down there and really did everything we needed to do to win the game. So I was pleased as a coach. Always makes that trip a lot better to come home with 3 points. So yeah, pretty pleased.
And now you've got Storm in Carrollton for last match of the regular season. They can play spoiler right now. You could, with a win, go to 2. You could be where, you could be 4. It could be 2, 3, or 4 for you for this final match. Right.
And honestly, we're happy as a first-year program to make the conference playoffs. That's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal was obviously to finish first, because as competitive as we all are involved, we all want to win every game, and we wanted to be top of the pack. So we'll go to Storm on Saturday with the game plan to nothing but a win is acceptable, and hope that other results go our way so we can finish second. But if it's third that we finish, then we'll still be pleased, but not as pleased as we would be if everything falls in our place and we finish second. So, and if things finish fourth, then so be it. It wasn't meant to be, and we'll just go to playoffs as the bottom seed. But we can't really worry about too much what other people will do. We take care of business on Saturday, and we finish third, and that's really our biggest achievement done, is that we finish kind of in the playoffs and hopefully in contention.
Allen Creek at 7:30, LSA Atletico Lanier hosting Appalachian FC. We've talked about Appalachian FC. They're at the top of the ladder. If they win, then they're obviously the one, and they will end up hosting as far into the playoffs in the division as they can. Caught up with head coach Dale Parker of Appalachian FC to get his view on the big number that they put up in our game of the week in the University of West Georgia in the 5-1 win over Georgia Storm, and what he's anticipating for a team that is out of the playoff picture, but once again, like Storm, can play spoiler.
Obviously, we didn't really know what to expect with Georgia Storm. They've been good in patches, been good in spells, even versus us on Saturday. We thought they played really well and competed well, considering they're out of the playoffs. So scoring 5 against anyone in this league is obviously very rewarding, and with the goal differential potentially playing a part in a tiebreaker, hopefully not, but it was important for us to take those chances when we got them. And we're very, very pleased with how we performed and how we put the game to bed in that second half.
And then you get your last one here. You're in. You're going to LSA Atletico Lanier. They know they're out. And right now, you could be 1 or 2. You've got to take care of your own business. The Revs are 2 points behind you here heading into the last match week of the season, but you got to do it on the road.
Yeah, and I think whenever you're competing for a regular season title or to finish top spot, it doesn't really matter who you got to play, whether it's someone who's competing for a playoff spot or someone who's out of it. You've got to take it really, really seriously, because ultimately your worst opponent at the moment is yourselves. If you don't take it serious, if you don't approach the game how we have been doing, we could trip ourselves up here, and we don't want to do that. We know it's a tough place to go, especially at the start of the season. Teams really struggled to go there. We don't know what to expect Saturday. Like you said, they're already out, having had a good run early on. They're now out of contention, so we've got to take it serious and hopefully rely on ourselves to perform, and we'll get the job done.
So that's your look at the NPSL Southeast, last week of the regular season. All kickoffs 7:30 Eastern Time in the state of Georgia at McDonough High School Stadium, North Alabama, and the Georgia Revs. Apotheos at Georgia Storm at the University of West Georgia. Appalachian FC at LSA Atletico Lanier at Allen Creek at 7:30. If you are near any of these places and can catch the last match week of the regular season in the NPSL Southeast, please do so. Great competition here in the Southeast in the summer sprint known as the regular season of the NPSL. If you are in market and can't, follow along on 11 Sports and through your local providers and social media. And if you're out of market and want to keep an eye on what's going on here in the NPSL, do so through 11 Sports, and it's ELEVEN Sports. Spell out the word 11 Sports. Go into the NPSL tab. Pick your team of choice to follow. You can actually get alerts from our friends at 11 Sports as to when matches are showed up and when games are completed. So follow along. Thanks to our friends at Vetter for being part of the production elements there as well. So Vetter, 11 Sports, and do your NPSL search to keep an eye on everything going on in the NPSL. It's the last week of the regular season in the NPSL Southeast, and we're not done with coverage. It'll be a bit of a quicker turn with show coming up in the midweek, previewing the round 1 of the playoffs with the Final Four here in the Southeast Conference, but we'll keep you posted all the way through the NPSL Championship. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the games in the NPSL Southeast.